Billboard's
on
top 25.
Patreon. We did that, but I'm not mad. They announced
the last 26.
the rest of them.
If they're not subscribed to Patreon by now, they should.
They're losing out.
That's true. Subscribe to the Patreon.
That was a good conversation too.
It was.
It really was. And shout out to all the new people over there.
I wasn't mad at the 3.5 hours last night.
That was the first time I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Y'all doing too much now, nigga.
Anyways,
parking lot cussing Joe out.
wait, what happened?
That's how I be in the parking lot cussing you the fuck out.
Why?
Parking lot. It's in the
Getting
elevator.
home at 10 o'clock at night. That's why.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Not very.
Not very. It's not quite that late, no.
Right?
It's different than what
I'm
you told me, but
exaggerating.
I accepted it.
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
What I told you?
Oh, you said, man, we had 6:30 most days.
Well, that's normally true.
That hasn't been true in a very long time.
Yeah.
Normally might mean something different to you.
That's actually.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
Me
actually- That's actually the rarity.
I'm sorry. Y'all are right. I'm wrong. What I meant to say is that normally happens when the day runs like it's supposed to run.
Shade.
Also not true, but
That's
it's
not
fine.
true either.
For real, is that?
What?
No, he did the same thing when he had videos in the tuck. If shit runs smoothly, he wants to keep going. That's him, nigga. He gets a bang for his buck. When we had videos in the tuck and he promised us, yo, we have 5 in the tuck, that nigga's gonna take a day off. That nigga, Tuesday, Thursday
Saturday
again. He was dropping 2 Patreons. We come in here looking at him, Joe, what's up? The people love it. They eating outside. That's his shit, man. You can't have paying attention.
Listen, for me, this show is a blessing.
There you go. It is.
For sure.
The people that the complaints, the people that reserve the right to complain are the coal miners, the teachers that are teaching our kids.
He trying to play us right now.
Here we go.
The firefighters,
Nigga said the coal
firefighters out there, the police that
Shout
are
out to
trying
all
to make
these
the streets
fun-
safer. Like, I come in here and talk with my friends for a living. There's nothing to complain about.
We love it.
Like, these are I love y'all.
We love you too.
Nothing to complain about for me.
We love you too, Joe.
Anyway.
Shame.
He's so full of shit. Billboard.
Right.
Back to the list.
Billboard put out the list.
That nigga need to write a billboard.
Let's go, Ish. Get that nigga.
You good, boy.
We ain't gonna let the nigga slide. Get him, Ish.
Rapper, boy.
Yeah,
Extraordinaire.
so Billboard put out a list, 75 of the greatest R&B acts of all time. So we went through the list, and now they've just put out their final 26.
25.
25.
I'd like to start this topic with an apology because I watched it back. I maybe was a little hard on Aaliyah.
Yes. Y'all was hard on a few people.
I agree. I think she should be on the list. I just think she should be a lot lower on the list.
Where was she?
That's my
40 something,
position.
right?
She was at 40, I think.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And Leah in the 40s is insane.
Well, ahead of Dionne Warwick and some
Ahead of Dionne
in
Warwick is
comparison
insane.
to a lot of the people that were in the 60s and the 70s, you know that.
But like Free said, you know, the criteria is what's important.
I don't see no criteria where she's in the 40s.
Impact.
Again, I don't see it.
Oh, no, her impact was definitely major.
No, but I'm saying her impact isn't so high that it trumps all the other
the
other
people that
5
were
criteria.
below her.
Yeah,
She might still be ahead of a couple people.
Yeah.
I had to go back and look, but she was impactful. Like,
Romeo Must Die.
no, I'm talking about like the kind of everyday girl R&B singer vibe that still is
It was
here
other,
today.
It was other criteria on that list, though.
There was, but she had hits too. Like,
She has some of them.
Yeah,
rest in
hits.
peace, Aaliyah. Like, I
Right.
think
She
Yeah,
had hits.
I'm not-
I just don't think she has the album that puts her in the 40s.
No.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Or the
know about that.
accolades.
Yeah, I don't know
It's,
about
just, it's other, like, again, we go vocal just range, off of that vocal ability. criteria. It was
No.
other
And
things
rest
on
in peace, Aaliyah.
Rest in
I
peace,
didn't want
Aaliyah.
to.
Huge Aaliyah fan, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
Yeah, let's get to the top 10. Let's do it.
No.
Can I remind people what
25 down, because we left off at 26.
we left at
Switched around.
26.
All right, so you want to do 25 down?
Yeah, so basically we'll start at 25.
Yeah.
We could fly through it.
All right, 25, Patti LaBelle.
That's fair.
hard to be mad at that.
24, Bill Withers.
Yes.
23, Teddy Pendergrass.
That's a little crazy.
I thought he would have been high.
This whole run, I feel like, is a little crazy.
Oh, yeah, it gets a little tricky. Well, not tricky. It
I
gets
feel
crazy as hell.
I feel like when we listen to the rest, then we'll
It'll make
probably.
It may give this perspective.
Yeah, keep it going. I'm not going to
All right,
interrupt.
22, Luther Vandross.
We got to interrupt now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here.
Them two. Teddy and Luther?
Teddy and Luther.
need to be way
Never
higher.
are that high. I mean low.
22,
It's crazy.
21, Donny Hathaway. 20, Otis Redding.
That's about
This whole run is tough for me. But go ahead.
19, Smokey Robinson. 18, Al Green. 17, Janet Jackson. 16, Mary J. Blige.
I live with that.
I live with that too.
Over to some of them other names that was in the from 25 down.
Teddy, Luther should be higher. Teddy, to me, is right where he should be, and I'll tell you why. Only because of that, again, that group versus individual dynamic. If you start counting Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes,
then there's no way he should be there.
Yeah.
And that's
and
you say you should be lower then.
And from what we've seen in the 26 to 75, a lot of those people, they didn't exclude their group work. Because if they excluded some of their group work, they wouldn't even be on the list.
And that's why the list is a little janky to me. Because I was like, sometimes I agree with you. It seems like you're only there because of these things.
The impact that you made with these groups.
Yeah.
Okay. 15, Isaac Hayes. 14, Curtis Mayfield.
Okay.
13, Sam Cooke.
Now we cool.
12, Usher.
Sam Cooke don't go before a lot of them names from 17 to 23. I feel like
I agree with
I feel
that,
like
too.
we could swap their 12 to 16 with 17 to 22,
Yep.
and nobody would blink an
Curtis
eye.
Mayfield, Isaac Hayes, no disrespect. I would take Teddy P and Luther and put them and swap those numbers.
I probably would too.
I would swap those numbers without a problem.
Same.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that was 12. 11, Ray Charles.
I was thinking about his name on the drive home.
He's another tricky one because
Yeah.
of all the crossing of genres.
Well, a lot of this is tricky genre crossing, to be honest with you, but we'll get to that in a minute.
You can't put Ray Charles 11 and Smokey Robinson at
19. What was he, 19, I think?
I don't think there's that much space between them two.
Unless you start talking about Smokey and the Miracles. I don't know what they're counting as individual versus.
And not only that, Ray
'cause I agree with
Charles.
you. I would put Smokey higher.
Yeah, and not only that, like Park says, there's a lot of like cross genre stuff that Ray Charles is where Smokey is
not.
he's R&B.
Right.
His whole career is R&B basically.
And in the 1950s, when they started making race records, I mean, the idea of a race record, some people call it soul, some people call it R&B, some people call, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know what R&B means anymore, given all the people in this pool.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Sorry, Ray.
It felt like old school race records rules.
Yeah.
As far as defining the genre here.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
All right, we at the top 10. Number 10, Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
Whoa, that's low.
I expected him higher.
Yeah.
I thought he would have been higher. I thought Al Green would have been higher. But when you keep going,
Yeah.
9, R. Kelly.
9 is R. Kelly.
On No Planet is R. Kelly respectfully higher than Marvin Gaye.
Except maybe Earth.
No.
Parks, you have a fight.
Huh?
You would have a fight. Like if you
This is
polled the
interesting.
masses, that's not as cut and dry.
I think it's generational.
that could be.
I think it's
I
generational.
think every listed year.
You always say that, yeah. Because I would have had R. Kelly like number 5, just off the top of my head, but without looking at the list, if I just had to pull a number. But when I see who's above him, I can't get that mad at
I
him.
wouldn't have had him at 5. I would have had him about 7.
I would have had him kind of where he is. I would just would have had Marvin Gaye higher than R. Kelly.
Yeah, I had
Yes.
Marvin Gaye in my top 3, so.
Personally.
And that's where it gets tricky, right? Because for some people, Chocolate Factory was a genre field change.
I think that what's going on is a top 5 album period of all time.
I agree.
That's how I feel
genre.
about that. I feel
AIK.
TP2
TP2.
is
Chocolate
probably
Factory.
the
They're really good
12
albums.
players.
No, they're
What's
not
going on
really
with
good
something
albums.
else?
They're past really good albums.
What's going on
What's
is
going
it's
on
like
is
Joshua
one of
Tree,
the
it's like Love
greatest
Supreme, it's like,
albums ever made.
yeah.
Man, all the little kids
Once
were
you
singing
get
I
out of
Believe I
there,
Can Fly.
Once you get out of
Once
there,
you get out of there,
it is.
I think R. Kelly has a top 5, 6 discography in R&B,
I'm in agreement.
I think he got one.
excluding no one.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
I can't. I would never put. I would never put him. The top 3 is still for me. Stevie. Well, I'm speeding. Go ahead.
We'll get- okay. Number 8, Mariah Carey.
I'm not putting Mariah above R. Kelly. I don't
I'm
care
not.
what Billboard says. I don't care what Billboard
I'm
says.
not.
I'm not mad at that.
I
I'm
agree.
not mad at that.
I love
agree.
Christmas like everybody else, but I'm not.
but it mainly
And that ain't even an R&B hit.
yeah, mainly exactly. Mariah, there's a lot of like pop in her
I feel like
discography.
Mariah-
A
that's-
lot.
Yeah, like,
You
when,
know,
you,
so-
like when I think of Dream Lover, just as an example, what do we classify that? The best thing about Mariah is that she often remixed a lot of her her poppy hits and made them.
But
put
then you
hip-hop
talk
and
about
R&B.
Vision of Love and all that other shit, and if you're gonna put some of these other people that had cross genre music you can't exclude her.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
when you don't exclude her and you put her in there,
If we're gonna put Michael Jackson in any of these lists, you have to put.
Then you
Mariah
gotta
which
put
I
Carey.
also
Mariah
was
Carey.
funny about, but
you got to put Mariah Carey.
but Mariah above R.
I'm
Kelly
not putting
seems
her
crazy
above
to
R.
me.
Kelly.
That seems crazy to me.
I'm not.
I am.
I'm not putting her
But I'm
above
not
Marvin
mad
Gaye
at
either.
I think they should be. I think they should be
Fuck
close.
no.
She's definitely not above
Please.
Marvin Gaye.
No.
Y'all bugging.
Continue, Freeze.
7 is Prince.
I think that's too high.
I think that's too low, but I mean, that's my bias.
That's your bias.
Again, some of that shit ain't R&B. Prince's best shit ain't R&B to me. I guess that's why I'm
I think Prince is right where
What
he
would
should
you
be,
consider it?
funk.
Funk? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of funk.
A lot of funk. some
It's not.
rock.
It's almost more new wave than it is funk. Although new wave has elements of funk.
A funk, right?
But-
So, but I wouldn't. It just wouldn't. I just wouldn't think R&B when I hear it. When I think of Prince's biggest hits, do you think they're R&B? I mean, would you consider them R&B hits?
not all the way, but I also the next name on the list. I don't necessarily.
Yeah,
he would fall
that-
under
that one
funk
lost
too
me.
a little bit. James Brown.
James Brown is number 6. R&B. I don't
You're
know.
not wrong, but I just love James Brown.
I love James
I'm
Brown,
back-
too.
I'm cheating for James Brown the way you were just saying, like for Prince. Like,
It just this just brings me back to the question. I would love to ask all of them at Billboard, what is R&B?
yeah,
Right.
Like, I think if we got a definite answer from that, some of this will start make more sense. Because I don't know it. You got James Brown higher than some of these other names
They didn't write
on an R&B list.
They didn't write ahead of the list, like, just a little blurb as to what thought process went into creating this list. Not
They
just
did
by
the criteria, but not what constituted R&B.
Yeah, like we all had this
versus-
conversation about what R&B actually means.
New Joe Budden.